Counting 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to, I guess we're going to call this the North Meets South podcast.
North meets the South.
Yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Peter.
I'm your second host, Dylan.
Alrighty. Now, let's start us off with something to talk about.
Dude. Well, I mean, we just got back from driving for 24 hours again. The fucking second time.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got Nick's opinion on this, but how was it for you?
Just the drive overall?
Yeah.
It can feel slightly claustrophobic. Like, I'm not claustrophobic to start with, I guess, in general, just as a person, but it definitely felt like I was around, or just claustrophobic, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a fun time overall. It's a little annoying towards the end, I guess. It went by faster than the first one, though.
Yeah.
It went by a lot faster.
Yeah, I legitimately thought, like, when we were in Paris, Texas, that Nick was going to take, like, 8 years.
You mean with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know the possibility of him stopping with his girlfriend. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know we were in Paris, Texas. That was literally just, like, almost like divine intervention that the time your phone messed up. I didn't even know we were in Paris, Texas. I was just looking at the GPS. That was almost like just perfect time that Nick could go see his girlfriend.
Well, yeah, like since we were driving and we were hitting the sun, the phone just kind of heated up from the sun, and it's just like, sorry, can't work, too much temperature. And then we're just like, well, where the fuck are we? And it's like, oh, Nick's girlfriend is here. And then Nick's like, huh?
I don't even remember if Nick was sleeping or not. I think he was just like, dude, we're in Paris? I guess I could go see my girlfriend now. I mean, she seemed cool. I mean, I didn't see her for more than like freaking 3 or 4 seconds. I was just like, I don't know, I was tired. I was in the back. I was just like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of ready to, I mean, I could have got out, I guess. It probably been a little bit better if I like got out, stood up, and was like, hello. I just wanted to go home.
Yeah, I walked in with Nick, and it was pretty cool because she was just like, "Hi, thank you for your business. Hi, have a good day." And then she saw Nick, and she was like,
was she actually excited?
Yeah, she was like, "Hi, how are you?" And it was like really fucking cool to see.
She lit up basically.
Yeah, she basically lit up. She was just kind of like, fuck this place." And then Nick walked in, and she's like, "Why, hello there."
Hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that was kind of cool seeing like Nick suddenly like re-energized by that.
Well, I noticed also that's a little bit of the reason he probably talked on his phone when we were in PA was he. I noticed every time he got done talking with her, like when he came in after talking with her outside, he immediately felt. I guess he would always act a lot more energized and like talkative. I guess initially. He'd be like, yeah, boys, what are you doing? And all that. I think it does put a spark in his heart.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might have been a little too hard on him for the phone.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Or, I mean, not maybe. At first, we were probably a little too memey about it and like, oh, get off your phone, you idiot. But I know he was just wanting to talk to his girlfriend. For me, I guess it just seemed like he wasn't paying attention, but I think we took it like that, even though he was just taking little breaks. I know he wasn't like, oh, you boys, I hate you. You're talking to my girlfriend the whole time.
I'm going to talk to my girlfriend. Go fuck yourself, even though I drove 25 hours up here.
I do wish we could have done 1 or 2 more campfires. We kind of did half and half. We did like half vibing, half not. I know we had to finish the Avatar, so like on one of the nights we were gonna do a campfire. I think we decided to just do as much Avatar as possible, which was understandable. We had to get it done before we leave.
Nice.
I saw the audio like things go up.
Yeah. No. One thing I thought about this that. It completely pissed me the fuck off that I didn't think of this. Number 1 was actually doing the podcast on my, like, actual good mic.
Oh, and like sitting in your room or setting it up downstairs on the table. You couldn't even technically move the arm thing downstairs?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just like a clamp arm that clamps to, like, the side of the desk.
It didn't break, did it, or did it? Remember what like fell over? Remember when we were in your room and we heard like a like fell over?
No. The only thing that I think could have happened was it cracked the wood a bit where it was because I moved it too far. But I just moved it slightly and it was fine. Number 2, the thing I was pissed off about that I missed was totally like I should have brought out my guitar around the campfire and just started playing jams.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna. I think you said you were gonna do that while we were driving up. I think it was just one of those things where we were in the moment and we were drinking. So I mean,
yeah,
that didn't help. We just kind of didn't think about it. That would have been cool to hear his little riffs. I mean, we'll have another chance. There'll be another time.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to be like the last time you're going to be up here. Or up there, because I'm down here.
Like, wait a second, this isn't Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
No, I know I'll be up there. Whether, who knows, maybe I'll eventually end up moving up there. It is a cool place. I mean, I've been to one other big area in California. I guess technically 2, so I think I did prefer the area you were in though over California. Although I like the beaches and the areas I went in there, I think I prefer where you live a little bit more.
Now, speaking on that topic, what are your current thoughts so far? Like, are you leaning one way or the other? Like, what are the pros versus cons of moving up there?
Oh, yeah. I was talking with my grandparents a little bit about it. I probably definitely would prefer to, no matter what, move somewhere besides even the area I was thinking of before. Even besides like Sherman or somewhere in Texas. I think I just prefer a little bit bigger city than that as well, because that's still a little bit more, not really, how do you pronounce it? Rural. I think, it's not really rural. How the fuck you say it? But it's a little, I'd prefer a little bit bigger city, the possibility of one. So I guess some of my thoughts on it, like you asked. First, no matter what, I'm going to have to save up probably around $4,000 or so, or save up a decent amount of money. I also have to make the choice of whether I want a motorcycle, which my grandma's totally against, or getting a new vehicle in general, repairing the truck. And then after that, I can decide whether I want to straight up just move somewhere, which is, I'm leaning really heavily towards that, just moving to a new place, just moving somewhere completely new.
And what are your thoughts on Philadelphia? Like, have any cons come across? Like, obviously, besides like being further from Nick and your grandparents.
Do you mean like Philadelphia itself, or just all the areas we went in?
I mean, like, you don't necessarily have to live in Philadelphia, but just like Pennsylvania, like where we've been.
Yeah, okay, just the general area you're in.
Yeah.
I think it'd be something new for me. Or just like, obviously it was a huge change of environment for me. I mean, I've mostly lived in rural areas or areas with a lot less population. So I think it'd be good for me to just get around more shops, more restaurants, even just more people in general. It's cool meeting some of the people we met, like that one guy in Jim Thorpe. He was cool.
Yeah, the sauce man.
The motherfucking sauce man of Jim Thorpe. I don't think there's a better sauce man out there. He literally was just a car salesman for sauce.
He when I would like try a new sauce, it's not just like he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's this sauce and it's like $11.99."
Yeah.
He'd just be like, "Oh, this is the hand grenade sauce."
And he'd be like, "This is from Hungary," or he'll like have this specific place it was made, and or he'd even tell us like that 150 caliber sauce. He'd even tell us the people that were behind the sauce.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this really specific group of veterans, made this company, and then all of the profits, go to like Wounded Warrior Projects and like all this like the veterans organizations." He knew exactly, and he's like, "Oh, the peppers are from this region of Chile or Brazil."
Yeah, he would know. Like, I was like, dude. He was, like I said, he literally is like a car salesman. I've never seen somebody be that passionate about. Besides, like the YouTubers or like the Hot Ones people. Even then, like I've never seen so many sauces or just like somebody so passionate about sauce.
Yeah,
like I'm a big sauce guy, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna like where exactly was this made and what people are behind it and what are their motives? What are their motives?
No, that dude, it was cool seeing the passion on the dude's face, though, because, like, we walked up to the door, and then you saw him, like, sitting on the bench, like, a couple shops down.
He immediately, like, got up and was like, hey, guy, or like, with his accent, he was just like, how you boys doing?
Hi, boy. Wasn't he from, like, Louisiana?
He definitely did not have any kind of Philly or that area accents. It wasn't, like, Oklahoma Southern, or like, but it was definitely a little bit. Yeah, it sounded very Louisiana,
Like a Bayou accent.
Yeah. But he was very charismatic, and compared to most people I meet in shops, like a lot of shops you go to, the people may not talk to you or like show you things. Like they'll comment on it if you ask them. But he was like in your face. You're gonna know about this sauce.
Yeah.
And you're gonna try. Like, if anything, I wish more shops were like that. If anything, it would make people be inclined to buy more things.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like a car salesman approach, but it worked. It was like, God damn, this sauce is good. I want that sauce. I want this sauce. They even had a whole bunch of like alcoholic like sauce things that were really weird. I know the Virginia sauce I bought had like bourbon in it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because, like, usually in the sauces, they cook out the alcohol.
Oh, there may not... That one was pretty... Oh, it's probably just the flavor of it then, not like the... Or what would you... Just the spice of it, not like
I don't
actual
know.
alcohol?
Yeah, alcohol evaporates pretty quickly. Especially when you
sense.
cook it, because you're introducing energy to it, so it... I mean, like, that's why, like, you know, you can buy... like stuff with like, say you can buy like vodka sauce and like not have to.
There's not like literal vodka in it.
Well, no, but like since it was made from like, you know, a specific like grain or whatever, the actual like ethanol alcohol might be gone from it, but you know that like grainy like vodka taste would still be there.
Yeah, I don't think it's like they're literally just like when they make the sauce, just like pour that vodka in there.
Yes.
Just put 100 pounds.
Yeah, that reminds me. You ever seen the video of the lady who's just like 2 shots of vodka,
and then she's like,
yeah, with the fucking bottle, she just like puts a third of this giant ass thing of Stoli into a shaker.
Or she was like, that also reminds me of the guy who, have you seen the meme of the guy who likes olive oil? There's a really similar guy that did that, and he was cooking. He's like, just add a little bit of olive oil, and he was like, and then he's like, you know what? When you're done, just add a little bit more. And I was like, dude, how much olive oil do you want? This guy literally single-handedly funds the olive oil industry.
Olive oil industry. Would you like some food with your olive oil?
Yeah, I mean, I like olive oil. I think it's good to cook with. Oh, speaking of going back to the ethanol topic, I always wondered. By technicality, is like isopropyl alcohol? Is it just really fucking strong? Like, what is? Have you ever had that hot topic before?
I have not.
I always wondered that.
I don't think alcohol has to specifically be ethanol. I think it's just like a group of substances that all behave very similarly.
Yeah. Oh, because I was just wondering, like, I know that one guy had to get his like stomach pumped from just straight up fucking chugging it, and I was wondering, is it like, you don't really get drunk off it, do you, or do you? I don't know. I've never really...
Well, like rubbing alcohol?
Yeah.
I don't think you would want to anyways. They put, I'm trying to think of the chemical name for it. It's, I think it's denatonium benzoate or something. It's like this really... It's the most scientifically, like, bitter stuff.
Oh.
Like, they've created in a lab. Like, that's the thing they coat Nintendo Switch cartridges in. So, you know, kids don't
like
stick
permanently coated?
Yeah, like, if you have any physical Switch games, try licking them, and it's really bitter.
Like, I've never... Did you try to lick your fucking Nintendo Switch thing?
Connor has, but, like, I know when I was a kid, I used to put games in my mouth, you know, just
I mean, yeah, you're just a dumb kid.
Yeah, just a fucking idiot, but... Yeah, you wouldn't really want to chug rubbing alcohol anyways, because they add the bitterant into it, so it's the same thing with, like, compressed air cans, you know, because, you know, like, if you've ever seen South Park, like, Towley, he, like, gets fucking stoned off his tits,
Off of a can of air?
Yeah.
I didn't know, what do they put in it? Because I know people mess with, like, Sharpies and spray paint and that shit, but I know that's different.
Well, that's why you have to be 18 to buy compressed air.
Oh, I remember one lady. Or well, I keep going with the compressed air thing. I had a small little story.
No, you go because you're gonna forget.
Okay, yeah, my memory is a little. Or my I already forgot what I was gonna say. Oh wait, no, I was saying my my very
Proving the point
what's the word for it? My fucking memory that is really close to you, not so distant.
Short-term memory.
Yeah, I guess my short-term memory is not that good, but I'll remember it later. So basically, the story I was gonna say though was me and Joe, when I was working at his parents' house, we had to get some more paint and spray paint. And the paint, I think, was fine, just getting the paint, but the spray paint, the lady was like, you're not old enough to buy this. And I was like, what? You have to be a certain age to buy spray paint? And then she's like, yeah, people try to sniff it or whatever. But then I think the lady was so nice that I think she had one of her managers or somebody, because she noticed that we weren't going to be like idiots with it. So, and we had like our work clothes on with paint on, so I think she probably wasn't supposed to, but I think she did have her manager just punch it out, and it was fine anyways. I kind of got lucky with that, but that's probably why. All right, it was like people might mess with it.
Well, so the way you get high off of like those fumes and like
I know you don't just like Mad Max in your mouth.
No.
What do they say in Mad Max when they spray their mouth?
I believe it or not, I've never seen Mad Max.
You haven't seen any of them?
Nope.
I know Nick would want you to watch Fury Road.
Was Thunderdome a Mad Max movie?
Honestly, I don't remember. While we're talking, I'll try to Google it really quick. I should know. I don't think so.
I remember like as a kid watching this movie called Thunderdome. That could have been Mad Max.
If my phone will load. I was gonna Google it really quick. Honestly, I don't even remember what that movie is.
Let us see. Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, it is a Mad Max. Sweet. It's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, so I watched...
Oh, it's the third movie. Okay, yeah. I've seen it. I honestly don't remember that much about it, but in the new movie, Mad Max Fury Road, I think he has like the spray paint. He sprays his mouth and screams something. I don't fucking remember what it is. But how'd you say that they were gonna sniff it?
Yeah, so obviously you need oxygen to continue existing.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, instead of breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in oxygen plus something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically the equivalent of like being high up in a mountain and breathing oxygen. Like the oxygen's so low that your brain actually suffers damage from it and you start to get loopy.
You mean with the spray paint?
Yeah.
Or the fumes from it?
Yeah, because it's, instead of oxygen molecules hitting your lungs, it's something else. And your brain is like, your brain doesn't like look for oxygen when it breathes. It just makes sure that the lungs are moving.
Oh, so it doesn't even really notice that it's breathing oxygen, I guess? Or it's more concentrated on the lungs moving and processing it?
Just like processing gas. Yeah, that's why, people can like kill themselves by like running their car engine in a closed garage, because it's supposed to be really peaceful because your body doesn't even realize it's happening. So you just kind of slowly go because you may notice that you're like starting to feel dizzy or calm, but that's just because your brain is literally getting damaged by not having enough oxygen. Same reason why you drown. You need, oxygen to do certain chemical functions in your brain. Mm-hmm. And without it, your brain will actually like... The fucking crazy thing about death is your brain will actually like destroy itself before you die.
Does it do that on purpose, or like just to...
I'm not fucking entirely sure, actually.
Oh, by the way, I found that quote that they say in Max Fury Road. They spray paint their mouths and they go, "Witness me!" before they die.
Witness me?
Oh, there's like a guy named Immortal Joe. You'll have to watch Max Fury Road, but it's just basically like it's their worthy time. It's like their time before they go to Valhalla or something like that. It's really weird, but it's like, "Witness me."
What do you think they used in the movie for props?
It was fucking awesome. You need to watch the movie. Anything, just the cinematography, it's amazing. And really the story, there isn't really like an epic story. It's mostly just fucking cars messing with each other. Like there's like a tiny bit, but not really. But you would love it for the cinematography and just the craziness. There's literally a guy who's like fucking strapped to a car with a guitar. And he's like flames coming out of his guitar, and he's just playing rock music. It's fucking awesome. It's metal as fuck.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think you'd like that movie a lot, if anything, just for the music and stuff.
Yeah. No, we were talking about huffing shit, right?
Or you were talking about what the brain shuts itself off
before
you die or something?
Yeah, like, I was saying, like, that's why killing yourself through running your car engine in the garage is peaceful, because your brain, you may feel like lightheaded before you die, but it's not like your body goes into full panic mode without oxygen, like specifically when it has to do with respiration. It's just your brain just has to detect that there's gas going in there, and then it's good.
Oh, so like when you're drowning, your body's like fucking flailing and it's freaking out. Always like dying by drowning would be like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been slightly afraid of that, or like just the feeling of that would. I've already, because like when you hold the breath, you can start to feel the feeling, like when your brain's like, "Hey, bud, you're not getting any oxygen. You need to go
breathe,
up."
bro. Breathe.
Yeah, and I've always been afraid of like falling off a bridge in my car, like getting stuck in and you can't escape out. But yeah, I'd rather, I guess, die peacefully now, and even then. That's actually why people, I think, when it snows outside, if you start your car in like really heavy snow and there's like ice in your muffler or whatever, then it'll come in through your AC vents, like if your doors are shut, and people have died that way too.
Yeah, and obviously they don't notice because...
Oh yeah, and you can not even know that you're breathing it.
Yeah, that's why I always do it with the windows down. Like, when
like
I
in the garage? Or where?
That's also another kind of irrational thing I have. Like, I will, like, make sure to cut my engine before shutting the garage. Like, even though I can technically drive in, push the button on my remote, and shut the garage door while the car is still running, I just don't want to.
You don't want to breathe anything.
Yeah.
I don't even think it takes that much to die from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, no.
Fumes. I don't know exactly how much, but yeah, that would not be a fun way to go out.
No, I think drowning is... I've heard, like, car in the garage is pretty peaceful, but drowning, fuck that. The worst way to do it is to either, like, get, like, fucking... Like, say you're in, like, you're flying to, like, an island somewhere, and your plane goes down, and you get, like, thrown and buried in the water, like, from the velocity. Oh, either waking up and you're already underwater and you don't know which way is up.
Or I thought you were going to go to, like, let's say you did pass out while the plane was falling, and it, like, started sinking, but, like, by the time you woke up, you're already, like, 100 feet or how many feet down, and the water's, like, slowly filling the plane up, and you, like, wake up consciously through that, and you can't get out. You're trying to, like, get out of the plane, but you can't because the water's flowing in.
Yeah, you know what's scary about that, though? There's this thing that divers have to come up really slowly.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Something with nitrogen in our blood. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you would have to, like, consider that, too. Like, if you're, like, 100 feet down on the ocean floor, like, in a fucking plane, like, you'd, like, wake up and be like, well, shit, I could make it to the surface, but then that nitrogen thing would fuck with my body. I think it, like, cramps your muscles or something. But, like...
Well, you can survive it, because I know there's a guy who's trying to do some world record thing, and he came up too fast. He didn't die, luckily, but, like, blood, or, like, his eyes were, like, red, and I think he had, like, blood coming out somewhere, but I know you're not supposed to do that. Also, another scary thing, now you'd die probably before you knew it, but I do know once you get far enough down, like even submarines and all that can crush. Like if you go far enough down in the ocean, shit will just like it'll be like a can crushing.
Yeah, so there's actually a really cool video on that. Not like, a human being crumpled up like a fucking paper
A
bald.
snuff video, like a submarine.
No, Chris Hadfield, one of my idols. He's a retired Canadian astronaut. I don't know if you've seen the video. He played David Bowie's Space Odyssey, Oddity on the International Space Station, and he was like floating around and shit.
No, I didn't. That sounds really cool.
He's this really cool looking dude. He's got like a porn stash, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
The middle-aged mustache. The
Yeah.
Italian middle-aged mustache.
Well, no, it's like one of those like. They're like really thick. It's like shaped like a razor blade.
Oh, it's like one of those 1940s thin mustaches.
No, they weren't thin. Thick. Like, if you took a razor blade, like, you know, you put in, like, a carpet cutter, and you laid it flat, and it was, like, you know, a trapezoid.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's got one of those, like, broom mustaches.
So you're saying it doesn't... Are you saying that it's more like a goatee where it goes all the way around his mouth?
No, he only has it above his lip.
Oh, okay.
It'd probably be easier to just Google a picture of him while I'm talking.
What's his name again?
Chris Hadfield.
Okay.
But anyways, he went down on a submarine expedition with a can of Coke. And if you shake
For
it,
some reason, I immediately thought, you know, like just Coke.
like just straight up cocaine.
Just like cocaine. He's just like, I'm going down with my cocaine. All right, what's his name? Chris Hadfield?
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking him up in a second.
Yeah, basically, if you open a Coke can underwater,
Mm.
since the pressures are, like, pretty much equal, if you, like, shake it up and open it, it won't fizz at all, or, like, foam out.
Does it just stay in the can? Or what do you mean?
Yeah, like, he literally just, like, full on, like shaking the crap out of it, and then, you know, up on the surface, you'd expect it to foam up everywhere.
It'd be like...
Yeah. If you do it underwater, though, like, nothing fucking happens.
The picture's not really loading. I'm trying.
Oh. Wait.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about now. He was on a YouTube thing, not for what you're talking about, but I think he was talking about how you eat in space.
Yeah.
I think he did
Yeah,
one of those videos.
that's him.
Okay, so yeah, I know who you're talking about now. But I like the little experiments like that, little cool things you can learn. So did the liquid flow out at all, or were you just saying it wasn't fizzing? Like out of the Coke can?
Oh, yeah, it just wasn't fizzing. It wasn't, like, defying gravity or anything. It was just, like, you shake it up, and then he opened it, and then you're like, whoa, it's gonna fucking foam up and, like, shoot out the top. Because it's, you know, shaking up so much.
Oh, I have a stupid question for you. I want to see if you know this.
Okay.
Do you know that all pop actually starts like clear?
Yeah.
It's colored.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know that till I was like recently. I know I should have, and I always was like, oh, that's cool. Like how they. Then it makes total sense because also I remember watching like how it's made.
I fucking loved that show when I was a kid.
Me too. I watched it all the time. It made me learn a lot, or like, it also inspired me for some stuff. But yeah, I saw how they made pop, and I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. I like the scientists, like how I've also saw how they make like artificial flavors for things, like natural flavors.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing all the stuff being clear, and I was like, wait, what? And it's like, I guess that's kind of what defines it from everything else. If all the pop was clear but had different names, it wouldn't be as, like, iconic. It would just be like, oh, there's this pop. It wouldn't be as cool.
Speaking of which, so you know how on...
I guess they do have that clear Pepsi, but yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, that's just, you know, a gimmick. It's literally...
It's just the same thing, but
Same
clear.
thing, but they skipped a step and didn't add the food coloring. But, you know how, like, you read, like, a back of a bottle of, like, a Gatorade, and then you see, like, the numbers, like, blue 35.
You always wonder, it's like green number 2,
Yeah,
yellow
so
number 50.
a very common one is red 40.
Yeah.
That one, I don't know if it's true. I'm pretty sure it is. I would just have to find a source for it. It's made from, like, crushed beetles or something.
That reminds me of, I think it was just a myth, but like Red Bull having like bull sperm in it. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't really know that.
That seems like way too much work. Think about how much fucking semen they'd have to do that.
You just have to, like, go outside, jerk off a cow, and then, okay, we can make, like, half a can.
Or, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Maybe it had some, that was a myth, but yeah, I could see stuff being made from, like, beetles or something weird, or colors. I don't really think they would use beetles, but I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the grossest thing ever. I know a lot of people would be against that if they found that out.
Yeah, I remember being a kid, I was just like, ew, beetles. Like, I was just kind of weirded out by it, but, I mean, I've tried so much weird shit in my life by now. Like, food-wise, I'm just like, eh.
Also, think about, you know, they have, I wanted you to think about something, kind of get your brain boiling. Not really boiling, but thinking.
Boiling.
You're in the, you know how football teams have like halls of fame and all that?
Yeah.
Like technically you're in the hall of fame of boys. This is where me and Nick, Brandon and Joe, this is where we all sat down and hung out around a table on the weekends or after school every day. So you're in this used to have, I mean, like, I'm having fun now, but I mean, this is kind of like what's that place called in Fallout 4? The Memory Den?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, where you can like act stuff there. It's kind of like that. This is where a lot of my memories are like. This is where a lot of stuff happened when in high school. This is like an area I was in at least a few hours a day, a lot. It's like you're here. This is where the boys were. I mean, you're boys with us now. You just don't live here. I mean, we don't really do that much in here as much anymore. But it's kind of cool that we're doing this in the same spot that we used to do our podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of like history repeating itself.
Yeah, I mean, and the stuff that led us here to get to this point is really weird. Like, I was doing podcasts and all that stuff before I even knew you, but now I'm doing it in the same place, and I do know you.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a little, I don't think it's in here. No, it was the one at the apartment that I was just in, the card table. That was the same table that we used. We would buy so a lot of people don't know this, but you know powdered Gatorade? You can actually buy, like, a giant powder thing of it.
Yeah, I don't see it often, but it's like in the big, like, orange jars.
Yeah, they usually have it in about like this size, but on Amazon, you can buy like a fucking 2-gallon powder thing. And the reason why I love it is because like Gatorade, I like the flavor, but I wish it was a little bit more intense sometimes. So you can make it less flavorful or like more flavorful. There's probably a better word for it. Or tangy or not tangy, so you can add as much powder as you want. So you can make like really fucking strong Gatorade if you want and have it just like taste amazing and sugary, or you can have it like a little bit less if you want to be healthier or something. And it's cheap. If you think about buying Gatorade in bottles at a gas station or buying the thing compared to buying the powder's more worth it every time. We would take like a 2-gallon pitcher or more and we'd put powder in it and we'd make it and then we'd bring it out here. And we just have our cups, and it was iced, and we just pour it as we go.
That sounds fucking great. You ever see those, like, internet videos, like, I remember specifically, like, if you've ever heard, like, Mark Rober on YouTube, he's a big, like, engineering guy.
No, but maybe if you told me something he did, I might remember.
Like, made, like, a pool full of Orbeez.
That sounds like something Mr. Beast would do.
Yeah, well...
Oh, wait, no. Are you talking about the guy who's, Is he the guy who was like, how to beat state fairs or how to beat carnival rides?
Yes,
is it that guy?
That is the exact same guy.
Okay, my favorite video that he did, I think, what the heck was it? Oh, he did he made glitter bombs. Did you watch that video?
Oh yeah, and he'd like have people steal packages and then they'd open it up and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" And then
or some of them would get like insanely pissed. I fucking love that guy. I know he's fucking incredibly smart. That's for sure.
Yeah, he used to work for NASA as one of their engineers on like the Curiosity rover.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. You gotta have a big boy brain.
Yeah.
You gotta have a big brain.
Yeah, well, anyways, what I was saying is, one of his videos, he made, like, a giant pool full of Jell-O.
Oh, I saw that one. I know that was really hard to do, trying to get it all to coagulate.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, coagulation, yep. Speaking of which, good Halo map.
Coagulation?
Yeah, that was
Which Halo game was that in?
That's the Halo 2 version of Blood Gulch.
Oh, did I? I don't even know if I played that.
No, wait.
Map.
Either that or Halo 3. I can't remember which one. One of them had Battle Creek and one of them had Coagulation.
We have to see that. Speaking of Blood Gulch, I do know. What did Nick say? Did they add SWAT to Halo CE? Or what the fuck was he talking about? Or was that something else? Or was it a map from CE? I remember you guys having a topic. I don't remember, but we'll go back to the other thing. He had a pool full of Orbeez.
Yeah, well, what I was saying is, like, imagine, like, since you can buy, you know, the big things on Amazon, like, imagine buying, like, fucking 1,000 of those, and then, like, dumping it all into a pool.
Oh my, you wouldn't even need 1,000, but just, like, fucking drink Gatorade as you're swimming.
Dude, that'd be a dream. Do you think, like, the average, like, bro drinks more than a swimming pool full of Gatorade in his life? He has to, right?
Well, I mean, I think we drink a lot more liquid than people realize for sure. I mean, think about how many times, not even just Gatorade, think about how much you stop at a gas station, or like how much you stop and just like, oh, I'm going to get a drink, or I'm going to get this. Think about like a drink you like. If you get that like every other day, like that fucking, you're a chocolate milk king, you need fucking 20 things of the Ovaltine, get like 1,000 of those, put fucking milk. That sounds disgusting. Like, get like a pool of milk and just
you would literally to get that amount of milk, you would probably need like you need to like fly cows in.
That, or you would just need like you just need one of those semis that transport milk. Have you seen those like milk semis?
I have not.
It's some of those semis that look like they're holding fuel. I think some of those hold milk as well.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like those big cylinders?
Yeah, some of those is just straight up just milk. It's just like a whole bunch of fucking milk before it gets processed.
Dude, imagine like one of those like flips over in an accident and then like
hobos or just anybody.
No. Just like you're like a crash investigator, like coming like 3 days after the crash happened to like pick up pieces and like record stuff. Like, imagine the fucking smell of just like all day like sunlight simmered curdled milk. Like just all over the road.
The semi driver's just like dead.
Yeah,
just milk all over him. But yeah, I think a lot of those are milk trucks as well. You gotta think about it. How else would they don't just like go straight from cow to bottle or? I mean, maybe
that'd be a good slogan.
From cow to bottle.
From cow to bottle. Monahan Farms.
That sounds like a fucking thing, or like from something to something. But yeah, I think a lot of those are milk trucks, and so you could just get one of those to like come in, and pour milk in your pool, put Ovaltine in it. I found that Jell-O episode though to be kind of disgusting because like them jumping in it and like bouncing, like it just it's gross.
He had like his like little nieces who couldn't be like older than like 8, just fucking diving in and eating it.
Yeah, like for me, there's just like a bunch of fucking people. It's like the equivalent. I guess it helps. Yeah, I know I shake my leg a lot. I guess it's just me thinking. It's kind of like pacing. I can't pace while doing this, so it's like the equivalent of pacing.
Yeah, but all the fucking iPad hears is probably like.
That kind of reminds me of. Well, it's also because we're in a fucking like golf cart. We're sitting in a golf cart, so when you shake the golf cart's like. That kind of reminds me of a story though. I remember one time I was hanging out with my friend Casey, and I started shaking my legs, and like it was like shaking the whole patio or slightly or whatever. And he's like, "Bro," he's like, "just calm down." I was like, "Wait, what?" No, I think it's just like a tick. It's just a thinking tick. When I think a lot, my body kind of moves, makes your brain activate.
Yeah, I kind of do the same. Like, you notice how if I get anxious or if I'm like really thinking about something, I will pace.
Like when you're deciding how the fuck you're gonna get home.
Well, yeah, so backstory to that. I used my phone to get down here with the GPS. Like I'm recording the podcast off an iPad right now, but it doesn't have cellular service. So it's just, my phone that got me down here. But we were horsing around, we fucking dropped it on the tile.
And I fucking warned you, I was like, hey Peter, that's probably not, I didn't say exactly like this, it was like, probably not a good fucking idea. And you're just like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it does that fucking like broken TV thing where there are like colored lines everywhere and I can't use the touch screen.
Oh, speaking of TVs, were you done with that?
No, I'm done with that.
Oh yeah, so I had when I was a little kid, I had one of those, I guess it'd be This is a stupid fucking... What's the fucking tube TV? I guess they're just called tube TVs. I had one of those, like, really small, almost, not really 90s or early 2000s, like, square TVs that was, like, this big, or, like, a cube TV, and it had, like, all the buttons on the front, like, power and all that. It was almost like a computer monitor, like those, like, Apple ones, but it was a TV.
Are you talking about a CRT TV?
Yeah,
the cathode ray tubes, like, they'd turn them on, and, like, you'd hear, like, a static?
I think so, yeah. No, not the ones with the... I think you're thinking of the ones in the wooden boxes. Are you thinking?
No, I'm talking about the ones that...
Oh, yeah, it would be the static. Yeah,
They start at, like, square, and then they kind of, like, taper down to, like, a box at the back, and then they cut flat off.
It was one of those TVs where when you turned it on, it had, like, a white line, I think, and it turned on.
Yeah, that's a cathode ray tube TV.
So I had one of those when I was playing, like, fucking PlayStation 1 or, like, PlayStation 2 and all that. God damn. Like, I don't even know how the hell my eyes stared at that all day. I even fucking remember seeing my first, like, titties on there. I think...
What?
What do you mean?
First of all, I'm trying to figure out how you managed that, because cathode ray tube TVs are, like, early 2000s, so, like, the HDMI standard wasn't really around until, like, the
No, I didn't. I wasn't using HDMI. It was a TV channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was on HBO at night.
Oh.
And I think I was just, like, fucking scrolling through the TV channels because I wanted to watch something, and it was like, you know how HBO is. It's not like they'll show, like, tits, and they'll show, like, the women mostly naked, but they'll never show, like, the, like, you know, vagina and peen. They'll never show it up, like, really close. But anyways, see, I remember, like, seeing my first ones on there. I was like, oh, that makes Poppy happy.
Yeah. Wait, how old were you?
Pretty young. Probably, like, I don't know, 9 or 10.
So, like, you probably, like, felt something down there, but you're like, okay, this isn't really doing anything.
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't... It was just... I think it was just the start of it. I mean, just like the start of it. It wasn't that intense. But it was a little weird. But, yeah. So that was my first TV. And I thought that fucking TV was... I even remember playing Xbox 360 on it. But, like, looking back, I don't know how the fuck my eyes are able to handle it. Because, like, looking at TVs like that now would ever almost hurt my eyes. I need... Like, now that I use a monitor to do most of my stuff, or, like, just an HDMI or, like, plasma TV, it's fucking weird. Now, I also feel games and stuff like that used to be programmed for TVs like that. So if you play, like, older games on a TV, like a tube TV or a CRTV, they almost look better, or, like, some games. Or at least the nostalgia, the look of it is
That's
there.
interesting. That's kind of the same argument that people make with, like, with vinyl. Like, you know, obviously...
Oh, like music records?
Yeah, like, obviously we have, like, the sum of human knowledge at our fingertips in the form of the internet, and that includes music, too. Like, we can stream it.
And you can get it from, I mean, like, technically it's not legal, but you can get, like, anything that's ever been made by humans, you can basically access and get for free.
Yeah, well, there are people who like the sound of vinyl records, like...
They like the scratchiness of it, maybe?
I don't know, but, like, they prefer listening to music that way instead of, like, pulling out their, like, phone and Googling...
Plugging in their headphones?
Yeah, like, you know, hey Siri, play Barbie by Aqua.
Yeah.
You know, they prefer to go get their Barbie-themed Aqua vinyl record out of their closet and then put it on the turntable.
Oh, well, some people, it may be nostalgia, or, like, I know my grandpa in Kansas, he has, like, every Beatles album ever made on vinyl, and when he's cleaning or anything, he's always playing it. And I bet there is some nostalgia there, and when I listen to it on vinyl, I think it is different. He has a really cool record player as well. I know I think he actually has an Audio-Technica record. Did you know they make record players?
Yeah, that's the brand we have at home.
Oh, I guess I didn't really look on the thing. It was kind of had something on top of it. But yeah, he has one of those, and it was, honestly, I mean, it sounds really nice. I don't know if I'd be able to, like, fully tell the difference. I think I can a little bit, like I was saying. I'm trying to think of where I'm getting with this. I could see a lot of, especially for older people, possibly. I could see the nostalgia. There is something satisfying, right, of, like, putting something on something, or, like, being like, oh, I'm ready to play my music, instead of just, like, clicking on your phone play and scrolling up and clicking play.
Yeah.
There's something satisfying of, like, putting it down, putting it on, and activate, like a jukebox.
Yeah, it's a satisfying tactile interaction.
It feels like you're doing it, almost. Not really making the music, but you're just like, I'm going to get my favorite thing out, and, like, blink, and then you hear it start up.
Yeah, and the crackles are I do like people make the argument like vinyl is like warmer sounding almost, which I can kind of see.
Yeah.
I just being like an audiophile, like I prefer like the clarity over stuff.
There's some nostalgic about hearing the little bit of like crackles. Like he has some of those albums he's had since he was like a teenager, and so whenever some of the songs play, there'll be a little like because it may be scratched a little bit or something, like a little crackle or something. And it definitely feels like something that's from the past, kind of.
Yeah,
it's kind of like how radio mints used to sound like, or like how mics. You notice how like mics in the 1940s when they talk, like the way they talk and the way the air, or I don't even know what you'd call it, their voices in the mics and all that sounds really different from now.
Yeah, because they'd be like, we're coming to you from the 1942, worldwide fair thing.
Yeah.
They'd always have it's not like everybody just walked around in the streets in like the 40s being like, hey, how's it going, Bob? Hey, John, did you get to the game last night? It's the mics doing that to their voice.
And on the similar topic, would you say people used to be more articulate than now? Like, have you ever watched like old 1940s movies and like the way they talk? It seems like the way people, it may just be a movie, but like the way people talked or like interviews and all that, it seems like people were more sincere. I don't know if that's true or not. I've always thought about that.
I can see that. I think, with the probably the internet had a hand in this. Obviously, slang is, like regional words that are kind of, they stray.
Like use.
Yeah, like use from Philly, like they stray from proper English.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like since we've got the internet and we're constantly like on the new meme, the new thing, obviously there's a fucking new slang word. Like, did I ever tell you about John?
Yeah, I think you did, but I kind of forgot already. Was that a Philly thing, right?
Pretty much exclusively Philly. So, a John can be a person, place, thing, event. Literally.
Like, I'm gonna go use the John?
Yeah. Usually you would, like, point at it, but, like, that's me for, like, I've got my water right here. That's like me saying, yo, can you hand me that John right there?
Do people actually say that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you videos later, but, if I wanted you to hand me those pool noodles over there, I'd be like, yo, hand me those Johns.
I like to imagine eating like a Philly cheesesteak. Hey, give me a bite of that John.
Literally, you've got it down. like, that's how they talk in Philly.
Oh my god. I like that. It reminds me of, I wouldn't say that's like the same as calling a German a kraut, right? That's not like that.
No, because like that's actually like,
or like a what are we called, Yanks? Weren't we called Yanks? Or was that the British called Yanks? I think we were called Yanks.
Yeah, we were called Yanks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yankees.
British people.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really the same thing. It's more kind of like a placeholder word. Like if I'm going to a party, and we're talking about it, and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to the John tonight, and then.
So it's a word that can be used for anything.
Literally anything. Like if you see like a dude in Philly sees a hot girl down the street, he's like, damn, boy, did you see that John that walked down the street?
That's a I don't think I heard anybody say it while we were there.
Yeah, well, it just kind of like blends into me. So I would have pointed it out if I noticed it, but I'm just so used to it. I'm just like...
Well, we were probably concentrating on what we were doing as well, mostly. We weren't like listening to everybody. We were mostly walking around. We met a lot of people, and I saw... I don't even remember, to be honest, actually. I don't know their names, but I met a lot of people while we were talking. They'd usually say a few things, or like the restaurant we went to, Cleavers or whatever. Those people are really nice in there. Also, seeing them cook was awesome.
Yeah, like I love like when restaurants have like the open kitchens.
Dude, I know Mitch, when we visit up there with him, he wanted us to go to like this. You guys have something very similar there. It's like a Tokyo or like Asian restaurant where the guy will stand in the middle and you sit around a table and he'll cook for you.
What is that? I've never heard of this magic.
So a guy will like stand in the middle, not like a table, like just like a fucking like wooden table. There's just a hole and he's standing in it. He has like a grill, and whatever way you're facing, like if you're like, usually I think there's like 4 people on each side, or like a family. So like if he's cooking for you at the time, he'll face you and he'll do like cool tricks, and he'll make like a giant onion thing, or he'll make all this food, and then he'll make it literally right in front of you. So you can like drink your alcohol or drink your drinks. And it's really cool because the guy's usually like the sauce guy. Usually you have to be super charismatic to get that job position. You basically have to be. If you're going to cook right in front of somebody and talk to them and cook, you basically have to be 100% charismatic. I have not eaten there, but it showed me pictures of him and his family there. And I actually saw one walking through Philly. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. But I saw one and I was like, that looks exactly like Mitch was talking about. I saw the table, the little like oven or cooking platform.
The closest thing I can think of, like approximation to that, is the hibachis, where you get the raw steak, and then you like cook it yourself in like a grill that's built into your table.
Well, you don't cook it yourself at these restaurants. They cook it for you, but it's similar to that. That reminds me, do you guys have any? One of my favorite restaurants here that closed. God damn, that was like my favorite place to go when I was hungry. Was called Khan's Fire. It was a Mongolian restaurant, which I mean I don't know how Mongolian it actually was, but I mean it was called Khan's Fire, the Mongolian restaurant. So what you would do, I'm sure there's a lot of restaurants like this. It's kind of like going to those frozen yogurt places. You will start with a metal bowl. You can get a large, small, or medium bowl. And you would get, so I would get usually the large because I'm a fucking hungry man. Like, come on, I'm going to get large. And you'll start with, usually they have vegetables in the first area if you want vegetables. So this is like a noodle or rice place. So you can start with the vegetables if you want to. I usually put fucking like jalapenos or vegetables and whatever spices are there. I think I might put like some of those little corn things, those little like mini corn things.
Yeah.
And then you move over to the meats. So they have like all the meats you can think of: crab, shrimp, beef, just all whatever you wanted. You could put that in there, and then there'd be like a spice rack where they'd have like cayenne or anything you want, weird things. You pour that on it, and then at the end there'd be like a sauce you put in a cup, whether it be like super hot or like garlic sauce, vinegar sauce, oils. And you would pour it, and they'd have like Khan sauce, which is like supposed to be really hot or whatever. You pour it in the bowl, and then you give the little sauce cup and the bowl to the guy. And he will go over to this giant circular oven thing. I think it was propane or something, but it was like or a fire in the middle or something. And he would pour it all, he would just fucking pour it all together. And he would take 2 wooden sticks and he'd flip it and cook it. And he would ask whether you want noodles or rice. So usually I'd say noodles. Like most people say noodles, but you can get a rice. But yeah, you'll flip it all together. He'll make it. And then, they'll bring it to your table. Like a waitress will bring it. But I fucking love places like that where you get to customize your food. And then just like, they'll cook it right there. And you can watch them if you want, or you can sit down.
Yeah, that's badass. It reminds me what you said about like they had like the special hot sauce. I can't remember the restaurant's name, but I've watched like the Rooster Teeth podcast, and one of their hosts, Gus, was telling about he went to this restaurant in Washington or Oregon, I believe.
Yeah.
They have this sauce that's apparently like the exact like consistency of like fucking tar, and
what the
like.
Fuck?
You say, they ask you, like, do you want to try the sauce? And then if you say yes, they bring it out to you in this tiny cup. And all they do, they don't, like, give you a spoon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They put a toothpick in it. And not even, like, the whole toothpick, just the tip of the toothpick.
Oh, it's like that fucking hot?
Yeah, and I think Gus said his mouth was on fire for like a couple of hours.
Oh, I think that reminds me of I thought the one guy at the sauce shop we went to, I thought he had a sauce like that. I don't think we ever tried it, but didn't he say we could put something on a toothpick? I thought I remember him saying that. It was like, I don't think we ever tried it, but it was the hottest thing he had.
Dude, he's got it all. I'm sure, like, whatever he had would, like, fucking give my mouth scars or something.
And, well, actually, fun fact, I'm going to teach you something about hot sauce now. It can't do that. Did you know that hot sauce in general and the pain you experience is not because it's like damaging you? I don't remember what their reaction is, but in reality, no actual like pain. Besides you being stressed and like your body reacting, there's no actual burning happening. Most people don't know that. There's no actual physical burning.
It's not
happening.
like a physical burn. It's the capsaicin.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't remember how to pronounce it either.
I can't remember, but it's whatever the hell the spice chemical is, like interacting with your taste buds. Your taste buds are like, okay, I don't know what the fuck to do with this, so panic mode.
Yeah,
you
but
get hot sauce.
I don't think it can actually like scar you or like damage you. I don't know though. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, cause like the guy on Hot Ones explained the whole process of why your mouth reacts the way it does.
You know what? Being a man who like listens to a lot of podcasts and like watches like a shit ton of YouTube like as his main source of entertainment, I have never once watched Hot Ones except for a tiny clip of Guy Fieri eating all of, I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah, I've seen the Guy Fieri one.
Guy Fieri like eats all of like the wings and he's like, oh, by the way, no water, no milk. Like he didn't even.
Oh, he was supposed to be like the badass. Yeah. Actually, my favorite one that he did was with Jeff Goldblum. You would fucking love that one. The people that he gets on there is awesome. Like, and usually there'll be like a season finale. Like they had one with Gordon Ramsay. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw the clips compared to side where it was like, it was pretty funny actually. It was like Guy Fieri was like digging into the wings and he puts it down and the dude's like, well, thanks for coming on Hot Ones. And he's like, oh, by the way, no milk, no water, and then it's a jump cut to Gordon Ramsay crying like a bitch over his wings.
Guy Fieri, I remember watching, that kind of reminds me when I was younger, I watched a lot of Food Network in general. Did you watch a lot of Food Network?
My version of that was, my mom used to watch HGTV all the time, like the Home Improvement.
Oh, yeah.
I would, like, lay down with her and watch, like, a bunch of, like, Property Brothers and,
Oh my god, my grandma loves that show. I think they still do I think they still do stuff, Property Brothers. My grandma loves those shows. She's a very, I guess, not landscaping, what the fuck would you, architectural, she's really
like
interested in
home
that stuff.
decorating.
Yeah.
By the way, I would just like to say that your grandparents' house is like fucking awesome. Like it's very well decorated.
My grandma's, that's like her favorite thing to do is decorate stuff. And she has, the cool thing about them too is they're those people that will find something that kind of looks gross or like some of those metal, what do you call it?
Horseshoes?
Or like, no, just some of this stuff, they'll find like metal pieces of art that people like threw away or find things, and she'll get like spray paint, or she'll get different stuff, and she'll like re-spray paint it, make it new, and then she'll reuse it for herself. So she'll like, or she can go to like a junkyard and like find things, and they're very good at taking something that doesn't seem like a lot of money, or being able to save money with stuff like that and making it look completely new or like a new product. She's actually flipped homes before. She's been a house flipper.
That's something my mom wants to do, when we move out to Lancaster.
Start doing house flipping?
Yeah.
I helped her do some of it when I was younger. If you can get good at it and really get passionate about it and get fast, you can make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
My uncle's doing that right now.
Yeah, and mom's not going to be physical, like, obviously, because she's got, pulmonary hypertension, so she can't. She's got the condition, but she was going to plan to, like, hire contractors and stuff to do it for her and just give them a cut.
And usually as you go, that no matter what, that's how it goes anyways. Like, even if you started doing stuff physically, like my uncle, he at first, I don't know if you have to have a lot of money to start off without doing physical stuff. I know she can't do it. Maybe you could help her. Sure, like Bob could help her. But usually at first you kind of have to do some of it yourself, or maybe hire people, but you might have to find people that aren't as good. But I know no matter what, eventually, yeah, you kind of like, you're more overseeing what's happening. Or like my grandma can't do stuff either. She has really bad arthritis. And so what she did was she would guide people or like tell them to do this. So your mom could do that. She could be like, hey, this is how I want this done, show them the designs or whatever, and kind of present it to them, and then they'd do it. And then if they did it wrong, she'd be like, fuck you. Restart.
Fuck you, do it again.
Yeah, your mom was really cool. I liked her personality. a lot of her, I guess, traits and her, what the heck would you call it? Skills. Yeah, like cooking. Obviously, no, I mean, I don't know if that's a skill, but picking out the right alcohol. I mean, I guess that's a skill.
I'm not sure it'd be a skill, more like experience.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that would be like put it on your job resume.
Yes, I can pick vodka's good.
I can cook, or not cook. I can pick my beers. I know good beers.
I can pick the best bread water.
But she seemed to have a lot of living experience and know a lot. And she's like a good mother.
Oh yeah, she is. And now to a water break.
And we're back.
Hi!
Dude, we got our epic water.
Yeah, dude, we had a nice water break, didn't we? Hydro homies.
Hydro homies. Hydro up. But I guess let's get back to the topic of your mother.
Yeah.
Was it the flipping homes, or did we already... Oh no, we already went over that. What was it exactly?
You were just talking about how much you liked her.
Oh. I mean, I kind of finished that up, but I mean, I wish to see her again. I mean, I'm sure I'll be up there again for her to cook me something or show me something. I know she was basically our coordinator or commander for finding us places to go. You're like, hey, Mom, what place isn't raining today so we can go there? And she's like, well, I think these are open.
Yeah, and then we went.
Yeah. It did suck that Lidditz, or the place we were trying to visit, it was still, the park was still really fun and just walking around taking pictures and all that. It does suck that we weren't really able to see shops. That was just kind of we left too late, and our friend Mitch called us for like 3 hours, or a while.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird day, but it was still fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought the drive through like Lancaster and like all the hills and the farms and stuff was really cool though, and kind of made up for the shops being closed.
Oh yeah, I love the views. I'll definitely say, I definitely don't think that Nick doesn't enjoy the views. I think me and you are just way more vocal about it. Like, you see me, I'll comment on it and like talk about it. Nick's just kind of like, yeah.
Nice. That's cool, bro. Back to Instagram.
I think he did enjoy it, and he did even tell us that, like, even like at the Rocky place, I think he honestly, oh, that's my phone. I think he does absorb stuff pretty fast, and he's not like not really that he's not articulate. I guess he just doesn't. I think he may have been a little uncomfortable too. I noticed when we went to the Rocky place, he's usually not that uncomfortable. He seemed a little uncomfortable there.
Yeah, he
didn't want to even jump up with us on the thing.
Well, I can understand his legs being on fire because we were by Forge. I think it was mainly because that was his first time in the city, and he was at night, and obviously movies make it out to be like, oh yeah, big city plus night equals you're getting mugged, shot, or raped or something.
Yeah, and I actually was more comfortable than I thought I'd be. Plus, the first time we went, we had like an emotional bro talk.
Dude, we
were able to work some stuff out.
Yeah, that was a nice bro talk. I thought it was a cool place to do it.
Oh yeah, as much as it was a little rough, it was satisfying. It was a satisfying talk and just a satisfying place to be. I loved just seeing the whole city.
Yeah, especially at nighttime. Like, one of my favorite things we did was we went to the Camden waterfront.
Oh, where you saw the boathouses or whatever?
No, that's Boathouse Row when you're driving back up I-76. No, I'm talking about when we crossed over the bridge into New Jersey and saw Philadelphia from the other side of the river.
Oh, when we saw the giant ship going under the bridge?
Yeah, that's the Camden waterfront.
I thought that place was pretty cool. Kind of a little gross on the edges where there's a little bit of trash and stuff, but other than that, the view is really nice. Wait, did we see it from the other side as well when we saw the New Jersey? That was from the Philadelphia side, right? When we saw the USS New Jersey?
Yeah, that was from the...
That's the Camden waterfront too, right? Just the opposite side?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, no. Are you talking about where we were?
Yeah.
Where we physically were is called Penn's Landing, for William Penn. But once you go over to New Jersey, then it becomes the Camden waterfront, because it's the city of Camden's there, and that's kind of just what it's named.
So you call it, depending on what side you're on, you call it something else?
Yeah, it's either Penn's Landing or the Camden waterfront.
Oh, okay. And then, I mean, other than that, in Philadelphia, and the whole trip in general, there's a lot more we could talk about. I know we're gonna do another podcast with Nick. I kind of want to save talking about everything about that specifically for Nick, but I'm okay with saying a little bit about it on here. I mean, we've already talked about the sauce stuff, but I don't want to like get into everything.
Yeah, leave some for Nick.
That's why I'm mostly talking about some, not really the side stuff, but like your family or your mom.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, something we were also talking about, like back when we were talking about like ways to die and drowning and stuff. I had brought up that during our break that my least favorite method of drowning would probably be literally like you're playing with your family like in the beach one day, and then a riptide, comes and snags you and like drags you under, like literally like you're looking at the beach and you see your family just kind of fade away, and then you just pulled under and smashed against the rocks in the ocean.
That would be terrifying, and that reminds me of a story of my brother. When I visited my dad in California, we went to what pier is it called? It's the one in GTA. I don't even remember. I should know this, but it's just the pier. Anyways, we're at the ocean, and I remember we were swimming. Oh, Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, we were there, and my brother was like swimming, and I remember he just like slowly looked like he was getting more and more out in the ocean, and I was like, "Hey Trent," I was like, "You probably should." I know it's just the natural tides. It was just like, whoa, hey, where are you going? And most of the time it's not too strong, but I know there's been times where you can get pulled out far enough where I think lifeguards have to get you, like go and get you. Another scary way I thought about drowning was like, one thing when I was younger was after I watched the Titanic, you know how some people got sucked under because of the suction of the ship as it's falling down? I always thought that'd be terrifying too. Like if a giant ship is sinking, you want to get the fuck away before it starts pulling things down with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the science is behind that.
Well, it's basically like the equivalent of like if a car is going down a highway and you see like a paper following it. It's kind of the same thing except the denser medium. So naturally, obviously a ship weighs a lot, but without the air to keep it buoyant, that's a lot of weight that's moving through water. And obviously water has surface tension, so it, whenever it splashes, it levels back out.
Yeah.
And since it's moving through, it's creating these freaking, like, circular pools of suction.
And it just can keep dragging you down. That would be... oceans are terrifying.
Fucking hate... Like, imagine how, like, Titanic would go differently if, like, the dude was on the board and then just, like, he and the board just fucking disappeared from frame.
Him and Rose get fucking sucked down.
Yeah.
And that would not be that fun.
No. I would say that's probably my least favorite method of that. Another one is electrocution.
Am I getting the electric chair? I've actually messed with, I think I had one of those little devices that you could turn up the electricity. Oh no, I had like this shock therapy pin. It's just like one of those fucking TV ad things. It's like, I don't know if it's laser therapy or shock therapy or something, but you could turn it up. It had like settings from like 1 to 10.
That reminds me of like you ever go to the arcade and you have to like hold the balls for as long as possible?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, back to what you were saying.
I remember turning it up to like 4 or 5. I was like, holy fuck, that hurts. Or like I was trying to like move it around on like some muscles and stuff. And it was like, it actually makes your muscles twitch and like move a lot. Like by the time I'd get to like, I tried like 10 once just to fucking see, and I was like, it's literally a fucking taser. Like I've never been shot with a taser or been like really close, like the one without the prongs or something. But that would fucking not be fun at all. The feeling of electricity is not fun. There's like this Indian guy, or I don't remember if it's Indian on YouTube, where he like will do shitty things with electricity and like shock himself.
You're talking about Electro Boom.
Is he Indian?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I think he is.
That guy is fucking insane. Now he's smart though. He seems insane and crazy, but I know he's actually really smart. He knows what he's doing.
I love Electro Boom's videos. Back to electricity though as a mode of death. Do you know like the science behind it?
Science behind what? Electricity death? Or what?
Yeah, like electrocution. Yeah.
Not exactly. No.
No. So you ever see the people that cook hot dogs with electricity?
What they do? Just not really. I have, but I forgot. What do they just put like a metal prong in each end or one end?
Yeah. You take like an old appliance, cut the cord off, strip the wire back. wrap it around nails and then like put it in a hot dog. And
Oh yeah, I
just
know
let it
exactly
go.
what you're talking about now.
Yeah, so when you're dealing with electrocution, like I've been shocked before, but not actually like, for a
I have a
period
story
of
with
time.
this as well.
Yeah, in a sec.
I thought of something, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. There's this very scary thing that happens called the no let go effect. We're taught about it in electrical engineering. Our muscles are operated by electricity, so when you grab something that's electric, you're basically like telling all your muscles to go full throttle, and so you're just like
Oh, that's
you
why in
clasp
movies and
onto
stuff, when
it.
they get shocked, they're like, ah, and they're holding on to something.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fence. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's scary about that? Like, you could, if that didn't happen, you could let go and, spare yourself the harm, but, like, you're literally just thinking, holy shit, like, I can't let go of this is hurting, and then what happens is the electricity going through the water actually introduces energy and heats it up, so you're basically cooked from the inside and you can't let go.
It's terrifying. My grandpa actually scared the fuck out of me when I was a little kid. He had one of those like vegetable gardens, like little gardens, and he had to keep deer out, so he had like a mini electric fence around it. And I remember I think he had something that, oh no, I think the fence was off, but he fucking scared me. Like in Jurassic Park, he went up to the fucking like little fence and he like grabbed it and he went ah, and then he like fell on the ground and was acting, and like I was like a little kid, so I was like, no, what the fuck? Ah! I was like freaking out, I was like, grandpa, and then he like smiled and I was like, god damn it.
So he was just fucking with you.
Yeah, and then like that was a terrifying moment, but it was also like a bonding moment.
It's like, oh my god, I thought my grandpa was about to fucking die, but you know what? I love you even more after this.
I have another electric story. When I was a young old 13-year-old boy, or close to teenager. I don't really consider that a teenager yet. I was living at this apartment complex, and I remember there being like a pole.
Was this in Cali?
No, this was in Kansas. I was at this little apartment complex, and they had this like pole, and it didn't have a light on top. It had like an exposed wire or two, and I was a fucking idiot kid, so I like climbed the pole, and I think I like tried to grab the wire, and I guess I just got lucky. I probably should have fucking died. I think I like grabbed it, and all I remember doing is like, I think I passed out or something. I fell off. I think the only reason I escaped that compared to most people is even though my muscles wanted to catch it, since I was on top of something, my body just naturally had more weight than it can hold me, so I just fell off.
So you just slipped off. But, okay, so...
I could have possibly died. I grabbed, like, a live fucking wire, and I was like...
Did you actually... You felt the no let go effect.
Probably for, like, a second, but since all my weight was down, I was gonna fall off anyways. But I may have felt it for, like, a second.
It literally just feels like this, like...
Yeah. And that was terrifying, but that was probably, like, I possibly couldn't have lived type of experience.
I have... more of those than I would like to...
What, possibly dying experiences?
I've fucking almost drowned a couple of times.
A couple of times? What the fuck were you doing?
As a kid, my details are fuzzy on this because it was a secondhand story because I didn't remember it as a kid, but I was like 4 or 5 or something, and I like ran out into the pool like in the middle of the night naked and just fucking jumped off the diving board.
Did you know how to swim?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, I like to imagine just like naked Peter running over to the pool and jumping in.
Yeah, but I got fished out. Probably the closest I've come to death is I was wrestling I have told you the story over Discord before, but I
may not remember it.
My dad always kept guns around the house.
Oh, yeah.
And my brother, who's 2.5 years younger than me, got a hold of it.
Oh, of course. Sounds like your brother.
Yeah, I was like 6, so he couldn't have been like 4 or 5, maybe.
He did not know what the fuck he was doing, basically.
Yeah, he did not know what he was holding, but I was like just old enough to realize that like guns were fucking dangerous. And I wrestled with him, and the gun went off while we were wrestling.
And it actually went off?
Yeah, it actually went off. It went off, like, next to his ear.
Does he have ear problems because of it?
No, I don't think so. I think...
Was it a shotgun or, like, a rifle? Or...
It was a Walther PPK, like the same...
Like the 007 pistol?
Yeah, that exact pistol.
Oh, jeez, it actually went off. Did
Yeah.
you get the cops called on you guys?
No, but there was a bullet hole in the wall until we moved out.
That's definitely an experience.
Yeah. That, like, just, like, imagining that, though, like, either I could have fucking died or Connor could have fucking died.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have had a story to tell, or you wouldn't have met us.
Yeah.
Another moment, this one originally wasn't as deadly because my grandpa was there, but I was a little kid and I was fishing. And I was really fucking small, probably like 4 or 5. And I remember I was fishing with my grandpa. I had one of those like small kid fishing poles. And I must have had one big ass fish because I remember falling in. I like caught a fish. Maybe I just wasn't strong or whatever, but I think it was a big ass fish. And I like remember falling in. And I didn't know how to swim at all. But I guess I was pretty natural because my grandpa said he did not jump in to get me. Which at first, when he told me that story and I was older a little bit, I was like, why?
Why?
And then he said I naturally floated to the top. So apparently he wanted to wait and see if I would naturally... Which seems kind of fucking weird. It's like, why wouldn't you jump in for your grandson?
Yes, I'm going to turn my grandson's mortality into a science experiment.
I was like...
Will it float?
I guess all I could think of is what he told me is he was seeing whether I'd like naturally would come to the top or not, which seems kind of morbid or weird. But I guess like I did, and I just like floated and I came back. So I was a natural swimmer from the start. Now he said he would have jumped in. It was just funny because just that story. It just seems like he's like, will my grandson swim or not? He will not be worthy.
That reminds me of like when they fucking like chuck like babies into the sea or like off cliffs in like ancient Greece or Rome to see if they'll live. Like if they're like not wanted.
It'd be like fucking 300 foot. It's like I wonder if they'll live.
Yay!
I was pretty stupid when I was younger. I think most kids are. I remember I had one of those like electric trucks, those like small ones you drive around. It was like a battery in it. I remember for some fucking reason I thought it'd be cool to like get behind it and flip it down a hill. I don't know, that's kids for you. Just want to fucking destroy shit. So I like found this big hill and I was like, dude, I'm gonna lift this. So like I lifted it enough to like flip it, and I just remember seeing it fucking tumble down the hill. I don't know why I thought it was funny, but at the time it was funny. My grandpa was like, "What are you doing?" Fucking almost broke that.
I told the story to Nick and your grandpa for sure, but the time I almost had to have a tracheotomy.
I don't think you've told me this one. I don't think I was in the room at the moment you said that.
Yeah, so I was choking on a coin or something when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a tracheotomy is?
Sounds like something to do with your throat.
Mm-hmm. So it's an emergency procedure performed if like somebody's got like an obstruction, like.
Will they like put a scar in your?
They basically jam a knife in your trachea and open it up so you can breathe.
Jeez.
I was choking on a coin and my dad, he grabbed his knife and he's like, okay, so if he doesn't like clear the block soon, I'm gonna fucking like give him a tracheotomy so he doesn't fucking die. That's his thoughts.
Oh God!
And he was about to put the knife through my throat to put the trach on, and yeah. I coughed up the coin.
He could have accidentally killed you.
Yeah,
because like he's not like a doctor. I just like to imagine he has like a fucking like Bowie knife, and he's just like fucking shoves it in your throat. Breathe, son, breathe.
Breathe.
If you were gonna do that, you'd have to have like a pretty. You just want like an incision. I don't think you'd want to like have like a fucking giant survival knife and like.
Yeah, no.
That is pretty fucking weird. I remember choking on coins as well as an idiot. I don't know why fucking kids want to swallow coins. I don't fucking know why. I remember also getting a like quarter stuck in my throat. I don't fucking know why. I don't know why kids do that shit. But I remember that, and my dad did like the Heimlich maneuver, and it came up. He was just like, hua, hua, and then I went, quarter came out. So I didn't have quite as a crazy story as that, but that reminds me of another thing. This is really fucking off topic, but you know the grossest thing my brother did when I was a little kid?
Mm-hmm.
One of his favorite foods was he would take white bread, he would put like 1/4 of a stick of butter on it, melt it, and the bread would be soggy. It had so much butter on it, it was soggy, and he would just fucking eat it like that.
No!
Yeah, imagine soggy, buttery bread.
See, I thought you were gonna end that story by, like, you know, he sogs it up in butter and then he, like, puts it on the, on a pan to, like, fry.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's not that weird, that's not so bad, but it's just, like, step 1, get bread, step 2, get butter, step 3, fucking make this soggy towel of
it would,
wheat.
like, I remember trying to bite, and I was like, that has to be the most fattening thing. Like, I'm okay with, like, toast and butter, like, eating it with bacon and eggs, or just, like, a little butter, but no, he would literally cook it in the microwave, and it would, like, melt over it and make it, like, a soggy towel. Imagine picking it up, and it, like, droops.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
No, it was not the best. And then also, I remember not really one cool thing, but did you ever, actually, I remember one, okay, let's go back to the other gross topic. So one food thing that I did when I was younger that was fucking gross is I just put mayonnaise on bread and eat it. I would put, like, a little mayonnaise on a piece of bread and eat it. And, like,
Ew.
I know, it's fucking weird, but I guess... there's just some stuff when you're younger, you're just like, that tastes fucking good for some reason. I'm gonna fucking eat it.
Okay, so you know, like the hot dog rolls?
Do you mean like the hot dogs that are wrapped in the rolls?
No, like literal, like the buns.
Oh, never mind, yeah, you just mean the buns.
Yeah. Have you ever had, like, the Martin's potato buns?
I don't believe so. What are those?
They're, like, a really, really good, like, hot dog or, like, hamburger bun. It's, like, made with potato. It's, like, really sweet.
I have not. Maybe I have. I just don't remember, but what about it?
As a kid, I used to just take the bun, and, like, crunch it up in my hands to make it, like, really thin and dense.
Like a breadstick?
Yeah, and then I'd just fucking snack on it straight.
That's not, like, that crazy, but that is a little, like, that's a little kind of weird thing to do. Like getting like my brother does something similar now. You know those Hawaiian sweet rolls? Mm-hmm. He likes to flatten them. He'll put them in the mic. He'll like just flatten it and then eat it like a piece of bread.
Okay, so the Martin's potato rolls taste exactly like those Hawaiian sweet rolls.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, I bet those would be fucking great. I don't know. I think I tried meat on a Hawaiian sweet roll once. I think I tried a hot dog with it, and it was too weird because it was like the savory flavor of the hot dog, but then there's the sweet flavor of the bun. That's just my opinion.
I mean, you could make the same argument for, like, ketchup, though.
I guess you could,
the savory flavor of meat and the sweet taste of ketchup.
Yeah, I guess you're right, yeah. I don't know, I guess I just didn't really like the flavor.
Which, apparently, fun fact, they don't do that in Europe.
That's gonna have to be cut out or something, probably.
Yeah.
They're gonna fucking explode their ears.
I'm just gonna put a fucking, like, audio clip over this, just, like, sneeze.
Yeah, just do something stupid. Nick's fucking stupid, right, Peter?
Yes. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is in Europe, they do not put sugar in ketchup.
I've had non-sugarless ketchup. Actually,
non-sugarless ketchup.
Non-sugarless. You know what I meant? Sugarless ketchup. Non-sugarless ketchup is just normal ketchup. Actually, that's one weird thing. This is a little topic that we can get into now. The United States, with their like sauces and stuff, we put a lot of fucking like high fructose corn syrup and like just sugar in like every sauce, or a lot. Even our barbecue sauces. Now, sometimes it's necessary, and I'm not saying they're not good. I just noticed that we definitely are a very sugar nation. Or do you know? You're just smiling at me. You're like, right, yeah, okay. I notice a lot of our foods. We also have a lot more preservatives in other countries usually in our foods, but we just consume so much fucking sugar. Like, I looked at. Have you ever seen that diagram of like a Coke can and then they'll put like the cubes of sugar next to it to like show how much is in it?
Yeah, like the stuff they used to show like health class.
Yeah. Now I don't know how real it is, but if that picture is real and that diagram is real, then it's like that's fucking. Ugh. I can't drink that much pop before it feels gross. Like, I like the taste of it. I wish there was either more real sugar pops with a little less or just less sugar pop. I'm sure there is. I'm just fucking rambling about pop and sugar now.
Well, yeah, like, back to, like, Europe versus the United States, absolutely, they have, like, less sugar and everything. Like, we picked up this, I don't know if you guys tried it while you were up there, but we have this stuff in our fridge that's Polish mayonnaise.
I bet that's good.
It tastes nothing like American mayonnaise. It's like, American mayonnaise is like sweet. Polish mayonnaise is like,
You know what, man?
ultra fucking creamy.
Really, really quick. You know what fucking mayonnaise I hate the most?
Huh.
Imagine liking Miracle Whip.
Oh,
I fucking hate Miracle Whip.
I don't even know if you can, like, call that mayonnaise. It's just, like, mayo plus air.
Well, to me, it also is like fucking tangy. Why is mayonnaise fucking... Mayonnaise shouldn't be sour. Maybe that's what the Polish one is. But, like, I like Hellmann's. Have you ever had Hellmann's mayonnaise or Kraft mayonnaise?
Hellmann's is pretty much the standard in my house.
Yeah.
We get the squeezed bottles.
I noticed your mom is a very big fan, and you, of squeeze bottles. I usually buy the jars, but I'm starting to go your way. I actually like the convenience of just like...
Well, yeah, because, like, there's a lot of steps involved. You have to twist off the fucking lid, which can sometimes get stuck.
And you get mayonnaise all over the lid when you twist it on and off.
You have to grab a utensil to scrape with, you have to insert to scrape, and you have to apply. When you're finished, you have to put the lid on, put it in the fridge, and...
So much effort.
Yeah, literally, like, just, you toss the knife in the sink, and, you know,
I guess you
that
have to
many
clean
steps.
forks or something.
Yeah, but...
I think it's cheaper, though, to get, like, a jar.
Well, yeah, but, like, with the squeeze bottles, it's like, flip cap, squeeze, shut cap, fridge.
Just use your bread to smear it a little bit on your sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I like the convenience of squeeze bottles. I'm starting to buy those more than the other stuff. Because it is, like... It's also... I think peanut butter... I like those... I think there's peanut butter and jelly bottles that are like that. They'll have, like, the swirl, and it'll be, like, jelly and peanut butter, so you can...
I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I like picking my peanut butter and jelly separate.
I haven't used it that much, but when I did, I can see the convenience of it. It does suck that you can't pick it. Dude, speaking of fucking jelly really quick, since we're on the topic of food, do you like strawberry? Or, like, what's your favorite? I fucking love strawberry, like, raspberry jelly.
Raspberry's fucking great.
Yeah.
But for me, you can't go wrong with, like, wild berry or grape.
Oh, I mean, yeah, grape. I mean, that's the standard. What about your peanut butter? I like fucking crunchy ass peanut butter. I like the ones with peanuts in it.
Yeah, I love crunchy peanut butter.
I like the bite. Like when you fucking take a bite, it's like yes.
Yes, that's satisfying. Like, you know,
fucking primal bite.
My peanut butter's lumpy while yours is smooth.
Yes. Okay, what the fuck were we? Oh, back to the Europe thing. I remember I had another thing. I do notice. I think America is the fattest nation in the world. No. Is that? I thought I heard that once.
I think that's a.
I know what you're trying to say.
I have a fucking brain attack, right? Brain attack, aneurysm. I meant aneurysm, not brain attack.
I'm having a brain attack.
No. Yeah, I think that's a statistic that's thrown around a lot.
Statistic. I almost couldn't say it either. Statistic. Yeah. We're fucking tired. Look, we're in a car for 24 plus hours.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a statistic that's, you know, thrown around a lot. It's like, oh, we're the fattest nation. I think we're not. We do consume like way more than other countries, but I think maybe the UK might be the fattest.
I was going to ask you that. When you visited Europe and those areas, did you notice more fat people than you?
I was going to, like, touch on that. No. Because it's weird to think about because, you know, we just, you know, grab the sauce and make the sandwich. But in Europe versus the United States, you don't realize just how much extra sugar they put in our stuff. Like, stuff that you wouldn't even think had sugar in it.
Yeah.
Versus, like, European stuff.
Oh, I've read bottles. Yeah, I've read bottles that I was just like, why the fuck is there sugar in this? I didn't even know there's sugar in this. Also, one thing I like about Europe, not that you can't do it here, but I know Europe's more about, like, going to a market or, like, a fresh market and buying your vegetables and taking it home in packages and cooking. We're definitely more of like let's eat as much frozen food as possible. Easy cooking, right?
Yeah.
You don't really have to try real hard, which I'm okay with. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, but I also like, you know, making a meal, which your mom's good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good at that. I'm lucky to, you know, have her cooking instead of just, you know, oh, here's DiGiorno's for the 87th night.
No, I mean, I can get down on... DiGiorno's not my favorite. My brother buys those Red Barons. I like those more. Not trying to start a little fight here, but, like... I'm honestly okay with frozen food. I just think families should have a balance. Don't always eat frozen food. Try to, like, do, like, 2 nights of regular food and, like, 1 night of frozen. Obviously, like, buying chicken strips and, like, all that is easy. And that's really not that... For frozen food, that's actually fine. I mean, that's just chicken with bread. But, like, getting those, like, TV dinners and stuff like that, like, that wouldn't be good to eat every night, even though it's super convenient and you don't have to try that hard. I think it's good to have a balance, right?
Yeah.
Like, have a balance. It's the same thing with desserts or anything. Just try to balance it out.
Yeah, it's hard to balance it out, though, like, when it's, like, so hidden in stuff. Like, ketchup has, like, a stupid amount of...
Oh, yeah. Like, we use a lot of high fructose corn syrup. I know my friends make fun of me, because I'm not really, like... I guess I'm kind of a health nut. I would be considered the health nut of the group. But, like, I will legit not buy some sauces or, like, some stuff. Because, like, it's always the second ingredient's, like, high fructose corn syrup and sugar. And I'm just like, God damn. Like, why does everything have to have sugar in it? I don't want sugar in everything.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times, though, if it tastes good, I really don't give a fuck. You just gotta balance it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the United States, so... It's not just like you can be like, oh, ketchup is the source of my obesity, so I'm just not going to eat ketchup. Like, it's literally like pervaded like everything we do. Like, we even invent new ways to put sugar in our body. Like, fucking, like, the Chinese, went to, one day some dude, like, went to a fucking plant and was like, I'm going to throw this in hot water, and then suddenly tea was born.
I don't know if we can find any... I don't know if there's much stuff like that. I don't think we can find anything like that anymore. Don't you think we find everything we could find? Found everything we can find?
Like, plant-wise?
Yeah.
I mean, like, unless there's, like, a very specific, like, variation of flora in, like, some undiscovered Pacific island, I think we've pretty much got it all. But what I was saying, like, imagine, like, the dude in China invents tea, right?
Yeah.
It spreads over here, and then we're like, well...
And the UK is like, give me fucking all of it!
All of it, yep. Yeah. And then,
or Britain or whatever.
You Southerners are like, how do we make this more fattening? Let's throw some sugar in it.
Let's make it as sweet as possible.
Yep, and then you have sweet tea, and then your leaf water now has a shit ton of sugar.
I remember a story of somebody... I think it was one of my friends. I think they went to a restaurant... Now, they're from the South, so, like, they were expecting their tea to be sweet or something. I think they asked for tea, and it wasn't sweet, and they got, like, super fucking pissed for no reason. They're like, I asked for tea. This ain't fucking tea. Give me the actual tea. And it's like, okay. I mean, I guess you can
Where the fuck where were they?
I think they're more north, so it kind of makes sense. I think they just asked for tea, so, like, they were just expecting sweet tea, because they always drink it.
Well, sweet tea exists in the north, too. You would just have to... They ask, would you like your tea sweet or unsweetened?
I guess at that restaurant that person was at, they specifically, I guess, just didn't ask. I just think it's funny because I think he got way more mad than he needed to.
Yeah, I don't like people like that, where it's like, something doesn't completely go their way at, like, a public service building, and they fucking lose their shit.
I honestly would be, like, too embarrassed or shy to even... Like, I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, like, even if you get, like, super mad at a waiter, or, like, almost feel like I'd be too embarrassed to be like, fuck you, or, like, you suck at your job. It's like, I almost feel like I'd be mean. Now I'll vary the tip. Like, if they're doing a shitty fucking job, I'm usually... r/nice guy, I'll usually leave something anyways, because I know the job they're working probably isn't the most fucking fun. It's like, I'll leave them at least $3, even if they did the shittiest job. But if somebody does great, I'll leave like $10, or even if I go to like a super fucking fancy place, if I like the person a lot, like if they did like the best, they checked my drinks a lot, make sure my food's good. I left up to like 20. It honestly depends on how much of the, quality of the experience is.
What do you think is an acceptable, like, tipping percentage?
See, I know some people do the percentage and like they'll get their calculator, and I guess technically you're giving them the perfect amount by doing that. I usually always do just a base of 5. My standard is 5. I think there's a lot of people's standards, but like if I go to like Applebee's, like I'll give like 5.
So if you get like an $8 meal, you're gonna give them 5?
I know I probably don't really need to, but like I just do a standard of 5. Now, if I go to, like, a fancy fucking place and it's, like, $100 bill or something, I may... Even then, I might leave 5, but, like, I usually leave a little bit more. I don't really do the percentage thing, I guess. I honestly just rate it on how the experience was. Like, my standard's 5. If they do, like, great, like, really great, 10. Amazing, 15. And then, like, perfect, and then the most charismatic person, and probably 20. And then, like, if they do shitty, maybe, like, two or 3. It just depends. I never really have done the percentage thing. I know my ex-girlfriend did. Every time we were done eating, she'd look at the receipt, and then she'd, like, type it in. And be like, oh, there's the perfect amount. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I usually don't do it that way.
I feel like the only thing, like, I obviously do tip fairly. I tip, like, 10, 15%.
Yeah.
Usually, but... I've noticed, like, whenever I get my haircut, I always tip, like, 20%.
Maybe you just like the experience more, or it's, like, something you like more than eating or something?
Well, yeah, because eating I do fucking 3 times a day, plus more whenever I snack, so it's just, like, whatever, but, you get your haircut, like, once every 2 weeks, a month.
I didn't even know you could... This is a dumb fucking thing to say. My grandma's done my haircuts most of my life. Even though I'm a fucking adult, she does my haircuts now. I didn't even know you tip barbers.
Like, did you literally just learn that?
Yeah. Like, I honestly... Well, I lived in the southern town, and I just remember when I was younger going to a barber. I don't think I ever gave him a tip. I would just go there, I'd pay him the 15 or whatever it was for the haircut, and I'd go home. I didn't even know you could tip him. Maybe they had a jar I never saw. Now, the best fucking haircut place I ever went to... Oh, also, do you like those, like, ASMR haircut videos? Like, Haircut Harry or those people? They'll, like, I just love, dude, it's almost, like, orgasmic. I'll put my headphones on, like, those Audio Technicas or whatever, and I love just the sounds of the, like the air.
The shoes went shh.
Yeah, and, like, when they shave, it has, like, the little shh. I actually fucking love those videos.
I'll be honest, I never got into ASMR.
That's like the only Well, I still like videos with mine, though. Usually I like to see what's happening, but that's like about the only ASMR thing I have. I'm not really like, I don't think I've really ever gotten to like a girl like talking really close into the mic and being like, yeah, I'm here with you now, so just lay back. And
being like, hi, let me whisper, like, comment, subscribe, join my OnlyFans, my Patreon, give me money, please. Anyways, here's me whispering,
Now
hi.
some of them are serious, because like on YouTube, there's a few ladies that I think they're doing fine, and they're not really just trying to use their looks or their like body to do it, and I'm okay with that. And I guess there's nothing wrong with the other either. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not. It just seems like easy money.
I don't know. I guess you have to be kind of charismatic about it. Not necessarily. I guess that's not true, because I guess there's videos where they don't show their face or anything, and they're just like have a hammer or they're like twirling something. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things like when YouTube started, where it may be kind of famous and you can make money, but eventually there might be so many ASMR things
that you just kind of like get lost in a sea of copy paste videos.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can still get famous with that stuff. I mean, that's one cool thing about Patreon or Kickstarter is even if you're doing the same thing as somebody else, if you're doing it at least a little bit different or have your own shtick with it, you can still make money. Like, NSFW artists, they make, I mean, some of them can make fucking bank if they get famous enough. And like on Patreon, I've seen ones that have like 1,000 followers, and people are paying $5, $10 a month to see some titty. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, that would be a pretty like cool job. Just like drawing art and getting paid.
That's one thing. Like, I'm fine with like, like paying the artist because, imagine like how many hours, like, even though it is a little weird to just dedicate hours to drawing like titties and whatever fantasies people throw at you.
Yeah.
One thing I cannot wrap my head around is people Paying for nudes.
Like from women?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, look, one time I was an idiot and I paid some lady on fucking Twitter, I think, and I was like, "Oh yes, I want to see your vagine." Or it wasn't like just some random lady, and I was like, "Oh yes, can I see Bob or can I see Titty for $50?" And I didn't just ask some random lady that. It was like a specific lady, and I think she had like some rates. She'd like rate your cock for $5. It's one of those fucking Twitters. Or like show boobs for 20.
Did you get the rate your cock package?
Yeah, that was just a dumb choice.
Was it out of 10?
Yeah.
What was the number?
I was like an 8.5. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to fucking get into this too hard. I don't know. It was just fucking weird. It was cool at the time because, I mean, obviously I was like fucking horny. That's the thing, right? Is the horniness took over. So I was like, yes. But right after like everything happened and I got the video sent or whatever, I was just like, okay, that really wasn't a good investment at all.
How much did it cost you?
I mean, like $40 or something. So I was, yeah, that's why I said like right after I was like, God damn, this is not the most intelligent decision. And I mean, I'm gonna be made fun of it forever. I know. I mean, I also when I was a little younger, in high school, I bought porn subscriptions.
That's not as bad because,
I mean,
a man can have standards and be like, you know what, I want that HD.
But also, I learned very fast when I was younger that you can find most of those videos for free. Of course, it'll be like on a malware virus site, but if you have like ad block or... I was able to figure out sites, like you could find sites that would like not even a few days later upload the same video. You could just watch it, and I figured that out fast. But yeah, I paid a few subscriptions, and I've also bought in commissions, bought in a few.
Oh yeah, there's
nothing
wrong with that.
And not always NSFW commissions. If anything, I've probably done less of that and more of the other. I love like D&D characters or like characters in general or like landscape drawings. But of course, I like titty as well. So I've gotten fantasy stuff.
Of course.
I also have seen stories of like artists who like will break down a little bit because that probably can be a little taxing of like an artist trying to like make their way or learn to do art or like learn to do specific art, and they're kind of doing it for money, but they don't necessarily want to do it all the time. So like I remember reading a Twitter thing of like a guy breaking down because he was like, God damn, all I'm doing is like NSF art. I'm doing art, like NSFW art for other people and like giving them fantasies, which I guess is cool, but he was like, I'm not really improving myself or like trying to move on with my own art that's like not an NSFW or whatever. And he was like deciding whether it was worth it, and I was like, geez. I bet there's some conflict there.
Well, yeah, because like, yeah, it's an easy way to make money because like virtually everybody's horny.
Yeah.
But
or an easier way.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, if you do it enough and get famous, you start rolling money into the bank. You will kind of start to think, well, what if I want to do something else? But you're
kind of known for doing NSFW
I was just about
art.
to say that, yeah, like it's hard to like change your brand because the people who are following you and give you support are probably the same people who want to see you draw like huge anime dicks.
Well, that's another thing. I do feel bad for the artists that sometimes it works out, but like they'll try to change, or the smart ones will sometimes have two accounts of like, or not really saying the other ones are dumb, but like they'll have like an 18+ account and then a normal account, and so like they'll put their NSFW or they'll call it like their horny account, their horny bonk account or something stupid like that. And that's usually pretty smart because then I guess the NSFW people can follow that, and then they can still do their normal art on the other one, and they may do like commissions for both. But I do think it'd be rough for the ones that don't do that, and they're trying to mostly have safer work, but then they get like, I've seen artists who don't have a lot of followers, and they post like normal art, but right as they post like one titty pic of somebody from like Final Fantasy or something, they'll get like 45,000 likes, and they'll get like 5,000 followers, and it's like shit. Now they're known. Now they're kind of known for that. a little bit.
And it's kind of hard to, like, remove that from your name. Like, that's why, like, people who, like, run for president have to, like...
Be perfect or
have,
something.
like, an impeccable record.
I could not be president, goddamn. The stuff I've searched on Google and the stuff I've fucking looked at. Being president.
I was just about to
doing anything political or super big, I will immediately not be president or be anything.
I could not be president because of you fuckers.
Yeah. Even just being friends with me and Nick and all that will make you not be able to be president.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you know, my fellow America. And then, you know, Dylan's gonna be in the crowd and be like, yeah, you remember that one time he, you know, went on a rant about, like, Master Chief versus Doom Guy for, like, 5 hours and wouldn't shut up?
Oh, that'd be a topic we can get into.
Yeah, this is a man that's leading the world.
Yes. Peter, the Master Chief versus Halo Man. Then you start talking. But I guess that'd be a topic we can get into. I don't know if you'd want to. I don't think Nick likes not being here for this conversation.
I think 5 hours is enough. And I know if Nick were here, he'd be like, yeah, you know what, let's talk about it. You know, the Doom Guy would win, end of story.
He would fuck with you about it for a second at least, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, and I know it was hard for you because there's like 3 people against you. You had Justice, me. I was kind of neutral, but I probably mostly took Nick's side.
No, you mostly took Nick's side.
But that was just like a fucking argument that was... Here's the thing. It's like I said, you're an immovable object and Nick's an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Or was it the other way around?
No, I'm the immovable object.
Yeah, and Nick's the unstoppable force. And so it was like... The argument just went nowhere. It's like people I've heard who argue about like Superman versus One Punch Man or something. Or like those arguments. It's fun to talk about and argue, but goddamn, they can go for literally forever. Like, I was tired, like, within an hour of you guys arguing.
Yeah, we did that for 5 hours.
But, I mean, it's your passion, so, I mean, you can talk about it. It was just something you, I guess, believed in and wanted to be right about. Or, like, just kind of talk about it more.
I kind of gave up.
Well, I mean, you both did a little bit, and it just got rough. But it worked out in the end. The boys are happy.
Yeah, it was really weird how that got brought up because, like, the first time we had that conversation, it was like a 10-minute conversation I had while I was driving to work with you guys on Discord.
Which was kind of a good thing because then it just kind of ended it instead of, like, keeping on going.
Yeah.
I think you were even slightly pissed when you left.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, fuck you guys. I'm going to go, like, slave for, you know, menial money. Goodbye.
I think you did say something like that. You're just like, alright, I'm going to go fucking slave work. I'll be back.
Yeah. And then, like, I don't know how it got brought up the second time, but the second time we just went for 5 hours, and I'm just, okay, yeah, I am officially done with this.
And some arguments are fun. They actually can, like, me and Nick, some arguments don't have to be crazy. Or if anything, like, me and Nick will argue over text a lot, like about video game stuff or something. And I feel like arguing over text is a little bit better. You know why? You get time to think about it. Because you're typing something, and you can put a whole paragraph, and then even while their other person is typing and you're waiting, you could think about the next thing you're going to talk about. That's why people, when they probably like argue on Twitter, other places, like, you're not really in person trying to fight them, so you're just typing. So I think it's a little bit easier to get behind what you believe in, right?
Yeah, because like I could have typed up like, you know, Master Chief's
fucking like like a master thesis or something about Master Chief.
Yeah, but like if I did it over text, I'd be like, oh, you know, the Mjolnir suit can do this. Here's my source. Mjolnir suit can do that. Here's my source. But in conversation, I'm like, Spartan survived the fall from space. And Dylan's like, fuck you. And Nick's like, fuck you. And Justice is like, fuck you. And I'm like, okay, cool, next point. And then I'm like, oh, energy shields. And I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
It is definitely... I think if you two actually, this should be a new rule, to be honest. If you two want to argue about something, type on the side or type about it. Because actually, with me and Nick, that always works out. Because you get your chance, you say your whole paragraph, or you say your big fucking, type your essay, and then they get to rebuttal, but they get to think about it. And you get to think about it. Like when you're very, usually, I mean, not that you're not passionate when you're typing, but you're even more passionate when you're talking in person or talking on your anger shows through your voice. Like,
me specifically?
You and Nick. No, it's just like when people argue in general. Like over text, it doesn't seem as intense because you're basically presenting them something, even if you say like "fuck you" or something.
Yeah, because like on text it'll be like, I must respectfully disagree, sir. Master Chief...
In person, it's just like,
could
fuck you, you're wrong!
It would literally just be like, I'd be like, Mjolnir suit can fall from space, and Nick's like, no! Praetor suit's indestructible according to the lore! Fuck you! And I'd be like, no, but, Spartans never die. I'd be like, fuck you!
That's just arguing. I think you two, from now on, with arguments, because they do seem to go forever, is either give up faster or start typing to each other on the side. Me and Nick have had a lot of history in game arguments. And typing can sometimes lead to a balance or lead to learning something. Like, how we want to do our video game thing or do like a small indie company?
Yeah.
So we talked about, I think we argued about if they took the Alien Isolation formula and made it into a Jurassic Park game. Like a first-person horror game, but with dinosaurs and stuff. And we were talking about the mechanics. But anyways, eventually it led to an actual philosophy that we added to our game design, and it's cool whenever you argue and are passionate about something, but then you eventually still find something together and something comes out of it. So I'm trying to remember the philosophy exactly. I don't remember that. I'm fucking tired, but that was probably one of the better arguments I've ever had, because something still came out of it, and that's why I think it's okay for people to argue. I know some people are against, not really against arguing, but you can get really passionate about it and not find something out of it. But even if people completely disagree on something, you can still find something out of it. Find some kind of common ground.
Yeah, that's why I like getting my news sources, kind of across the board, not to get into politics here, but a certain news network could be biased, and then the opposite one could be biased as well. So, just get your,
try to get a neutral one as possible.
Yeah, well...
Or, I don't know, I just like news or stuff that isn't very one-sided. I don't even really like to watch the news, or I'm okay with reading about some stuff. I don't know. I'm not even really... I know you said we aren't really going to get on politics topics anyway. I don't really want to. I'm very bleh about it. Dude, you and Nick could have had a fucking 8-hour podcast about politics that one night where we were driving.
Yeah.
That was a good... Honestly, it almost... We didn't think about it, but you could have recorded the whole thing and then, reflected on it. That would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see if, some of the stuff you said, you could have changed it or had something else to come back on it. If anything... That's why I like doing podcasts the most, is when I go back and listen to my senior podcast and hear some of the stuff I said and some of the things I believed in or talked about. It's it's crazy how fast you can change. You may keep a lot of the same self, but you may say things different or say something and you're just what the fuck was I talking about?
Yeah.
I still have those moments, but it's fun to reflect and think how much you've grown. Not necessarily changed, but grown, or experienced. I think you listened to part of one of ours.
You guys showed me a 3-minute snippet, maybe?
I do. Oh, we could have done that while we were driving. We'll have to do that another time. I should have played that podcast while I was driving so you could comment on it. We had some stupid fucking arguments about JFK and what meat he liked. We're do you think JFK...
What?
We were like, do you think JFK would be a steak man or a burger man? And I was fucking steak. I was he'd be a steak any day of the week. And Nick's no, he'd fucking be a burger and a milkshake guy. We got in fucking retarded arguments all the time. And I mean, we'll probably eventually get into one. Because Nick is very opinionated. which that's okay. I guess I am as well.
Imagine arguing about that. Then again, you could make the same point. Imagine arguing about Master Chief
versus Doom Guy, because it's not really going to actually
lead anywhere. Yeah, I can see both sides. I can see JFK getting served by the White House chefs with a nice steak on his plate, but I can also see him
as an American.
Yeah,
man.
he's one of those stereotypical Chad Americans that would just be even though he's the fucking president, you just find him at a fucking
diner,
a diner with a giant ass milkshake, and
has his sunglasses on,
yeah,
has his hair fixed up,
yeah, and you've got fucking 40 Secret Service people in there with him.
I think we ended up kind of coming to a common ground of both, but I think we're just passionate Yeah. Now, on the topic of burgers, you know what my fucking favorite ass burger is? You gotta get one with fucking, like, mushrooms and Swiss cheese. Mushroom, Swiss cheese, a bun. I think we have some, like, fucking thing around here called, like, Smash Burger. No, wait, it's not. Is it Smash Burger?
We have Smash Burger.
Yeah, okay, I think we do have a Smash Burger. No, fuck. I think it was in a casino. Maybe it was Smash Burger. I don't know. It was some random burger. I don't know if it's Smash Burger or what, but it was like a mushroom Swiss burger. I fucking love mushroom Swiss burgers. Oh my god, I'm fucking hungry now. What kind of burger do you like?
Probably like something like. I'm pretty fucking vanilla when it comes to burgers. Like, every once in a blue moon, I'll get like barbecue sauce on it, but usually it's just a medium rare, double patty with cheese and ketchup.
You're a little... Nothing wrong with it, but I guess you're a little bit more basic with your burgers. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly. I mean, you just enjoy what you like. It's probably just the way I was raised, but like my grandpa would always put like 8 million He's the guy at Subway that's like, when you get to the... I mean, it's not that crazy, I guess. When you go to the vegetable side, he's just like, put everything on it. He's like, put one of everything. Nick kind of does that too.
One of everything.
Yeah. I'm kind of that way, but not as much. Dude, I like a lot of stuff.
Imagine if you did that to the sauce guy in Jim Thorpe. Like, yes, I would like a sample of one of... We'd be there for like 4 hours.
Or even longer. And your mouth would be fucking destroyed.
I would just straight fucking give up after maybe 5. I'd just be like, okay, fuck you guys, I'll come back in 4 hours and you'll still be trying sauces.
I really did enjoy that place, though. Honestly, if I went back, I'd like to spend more time in there. I only got to try... He was mostly with you guys. I was looking at the other place, and I only selected like 2, and those are the ones I bought. If we had a little bit more time, or we were there for like... I mean, we were there basically all day, but we wanted to go to the mountains and do other stuff. I'd love to just spend like 3 hours in there and just like fucking try like 100 sauces. Just pick my favorite ones. I'm a sauce man. I don't know as much as that guy, but I love dipping fucking chicken strips or anything in sauce or just like throwing shit on my food. I mean, I don't know. I like all the different flavors.
I'm that way with, like, when it comes to, like, chicken strips and fries. Like, I will have ranch with fries, which some people find weird.
I like it. I love fucking ranch with fries. I also like ranch on my pizza. I think some people say that's weird, but honestly, I think more people do it than people realize. Because I remember in high school, at lunch, I saw a lot of people dip their pizza in ranch. I mean, maybe everybody's fucking weird there, but... I think it's okay to dip stuff in weird stuff if you like it. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's... in the north, you usually get either, like, pepper flakes or, like, Papa John's. I don't know if they do this in the south.
We got pepper flakes. Are you just talking about those?
No, I'm about to say something else. They have this, like, garlic oil.
Oh, we have that. I know what you're talking about. You can actually ask for it. If you like to dip it in it, you can legit get like a cup.
Well, like whenever we get pizza from Papa John's, it's like always in this cup, and it's got like one of those like peel back lids, like an applesauce.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Pizza Hut actually has those too.
Okay, so that's not just the
I fucking love that sauce. Yeah, I get that at Pizza Hut every time. It's probably not that good for you, but it tastes really good.
This conversation's making me fucking hungry.
Yeah, I got one more thing to talk about, too.
Yeah?
With food. And there's a little side story with it, too. But me and Nick in high school, when we were doing this, we never ended up finishing it. Well, we finished the script, but we didn't go to the contest. So I think there was some, like, history day or, like, some contest of, we would, like, you'd go on, like, a stage and do a play or, like, a act. So, like, I think we did, like, the 300. It was, like, you don't really know about it. It was, like, Thermopylae or something. And
yeah, the Battle of Thermopylae, 300 Spartans, yep.
Yeah, so, like, I think he played King Leonidas, and then I was the historian. I forgot his name. I was the historian, the guy who, like, wrote about it, and it was fucking awesome. But we ended up... I don't remember if we had, like, a track race or something got in the way, but we really shouldn't have dodged it. It was one of those things that... we should have done, but, I guess it's life. We just didn't finish it. But the story I was getting to the food, was we would go to pizza a lot. Like, after we went to the library and, like, wrote down a bunch of stuff, and we would talk about it and kind of assimilate together on something or just kind of figure out as much as possible about it, write more on the script. We'd go over to Pizza Hut, and we would order something. Well, Nick, I'm sure this is more normal, and I'm probably building this up way more than I should be, but you know, like the buffalo sauce or like the hot sauce you get on hot wings?
Yeah.
So like at Pizza Hut, I don't know if it's always been this way, but you can actually ask for like a cup of their buffalo sauce to dip your pizza in. Which sounds weird, but it's fucking amazing. It's like the best thing you can eat with your pizza.
I don't know about hot sauce with pizza. Like, I've had hot sauce on cheesesteaks, like the Jamaican Scotch bonnet stuff I've had on a cheesesteak. Fucking delicious. The only spice I'll put on my cheesesteak is that St. Lucifer's, like, seasoning salt stuff.
I thought you were talking about the devil stuff.
Mm-mm.
Or the devil flakes or whatever.
No.
I don't... Wait, what stuff you said you tried? St. Lucifer's?
For those of you who don't know, St. Lucifer's is kind of like a northern...
Yeah, I didn't know until I saw it.
Thing. It's St. Lucifer's spice number 11. It's kind of our secret ingredient. It's like paprika, habanero flakes, garlic.
Does she put that in you said she puts that in a lot of your cooking.
Yeah, it's kind of like the secret ingredient that makes everything like, holy fuck, that's great.
I definitely wish I could even try more of your mom's cooking. I'm sure she had way more recipes I didn't even try.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll be able to have another opportunity.
Oh yeah, I'd love to stay up there again. I guess we're about 2 hours and 1 minute in. I'd say, I'm getting pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm zonked.
Our voices, I think, are starting to get a little slurred a little bit. So, honestly, this is a great time. We should do another one. So, I guess we could both do our exits, or what would you call it? Not exits. Fucking tired. I don't even know.
I guess exits, yeah fuck it.
Yeah. So, I'm Dylan, and...
my name is Peter.
And this is the...
North Meets South podcast.
Yeah, I guess it's tight, with the North meets South. But thanks for listening, and we'll do another one soon.
Adios.